so why are you calling it bonkers? Oh, that's right, because you want to be able to say whatever you want, typical hypocrite. That victim label allows them seemingly to pull at the heartstrings of people, and it's a smokescreen. It's so much rhetoric at this point, and so many lies have been thrown out there, debunked, and yet
They once called her the modern Cinderella. But let's be honest, that glass slipper didn't just fit. Meghan Markle shoved it on, cracked it, and then sold the pieces to Netflix. And just when everyone thought the fairy tale was untouchable, her own sister stepped in to smash what was left. Samantha Markle dropped one quiet line, that sent the entire internet spiraling. People need to look at the timeline. That's it. No screaming, no drama, just 6 words. But those 6 words, they changed everything. Because once people did start looking, the whole perfect pregnancy story began collapsing like a sandcastle in a storm. Missing hospital photos, baby bumps that folded on camera, and a mysterious woman named DL who suddenly claimed she's the one who actually carried those royal babies. And get this, she offered to take a DNA test on live TV. This wasn't gossip anymore. It was a full-blown family war. A sister who wouldn't stay quiet. Secrets that could rewrite every glossy image the palace had ever sold. Because if Samantha was right, every photo, every carefully posed announcement, even those emotional interviews might have been part of one massive illusion. So, buckle up. What you're about to hear isn't the story the palace wants you to believe. It's the real side of Meghan Markle, the side even her own sister couldn't keep buried anymore. Before we get into it, just know things are about to go off the rails. We're talking hidden clinics, encrypted messages, and that infamous DNA challenge no one saw coming. Every fairy tale has a villain, right? But Samantha Markle refused to play the role Meghan wrote for her. For years, she watched from the sidelines as her half-sister climbed from cable TV actress to global duchess, all smiles, all grace, rewriting her past as if she'd been born with a crown on her head. Samantha stayed quiet until that silence started tasting like betrayal. Because behind all those charity speeches and compassion campaigns, Meghan wasn't just distancing herself, she was erasing her family. The woman who preached kindness couldn't pick up the phone for her own wheelchair-bound father. She couldn't return a single call to the sister who used to defend her from bullies. All those speeches about empathy while ghosting her family like they never existed. And it wasn't like they'd done something unforgivable. They were just too real, too ordinary, not polished enough for Meghan's new royal narrative. When Meghan sat on that famous interview couch and said, "I lost my father," Samantha snapped. Because they didn't lose their dad. Meghan cut him off. She ignored his calls, left his messages unread, and erased him completely by choice. That's when something changed in Samantha. She'd watched her sister become a stranger, rewriting family history with perfect lighting and flawless PR. And Samantha decided if Meghan could tell her version to the world, then she had the right to tell the truth. But she didn't rant, didn't scream, didn't sell out to tabloids. She just said 6 words. People need to look at the timeline. Those 6 words echoed like a storm, and everyone who'd been paying attention knew exactly what she meant. The dates around Meghan's pregnancies never quite matched up. The timing was strange. The photos looked off. The secrecy? Too tight, even by royal standards. The bump that moved weirdly, the late birth announcements, the missing hospital shots. While Meghan's PR team scrambled to bury whispers, Samantha just smiled. That quiet, knowing smile of someone who already knows the ending. She wasn't shouting for belief. She was just saying, look closer. And once people actually did, once they lined up the photos, the dates, the announcements, things got weird.
And you just have my mom, who's classy and quiet and there, and then you have the other side of my family that is just acting differently.
That's when the cracks in Meghan's perfect Duchess image started spreading fast, unstoppable, impossible to ignore. People started digging. October 2018, just 5 months after the royal wedding, the palace announced Meghan's first pregnancy. But right away, something felt off. There were no hospital photos. None. Not a single shot of Meghan and Harry leaving with their baby like every royal couple before them. Privacy? Maybe. But the same royal family that documented every royal birth suddenly went silent? That's odd. And then came the doctor question. Normally, royal births are attached to an official physician's name, someone handpicked months in advance. But with Archie's birth, nothing. No confirmed hospital. No medical staff speaking up, just a vague statement that a baby was born. And the strangest part, no one ever saw Meghan go into labor. No paparazzi sightings, no witnesses, no hospital staff. For one of the most photographed women in the world, she somehow gave birth in complete invisibility. Then came that video. Meghan in that purple dress, crouching, and the baby bump folds. Literally folds, like fabric. The internet went feral. People zoomed in, slowed it down, analyzed it frame by frame. Some said it was lighting, others whispered, prosthetic. Fast forward to baby number 2 in 2021, and it all happened again. The same pattern, same secrecy, same silence, delayed paperwork. It was like deja vu. And that's when the old rumors resurfaced, whispers that Meghan had undergone a surgery years earlier, one that could make natural pregnancy nearly impossible. Once is coincidence. Twice? People stopped calling it coincidence. Missing hospital records, folding bumps, delayed certificates, mysterious medical history, and a pattern that repeated exactly the same way twice. People stopped seeing coincidences. They started seeing clues. Every photo op started to look rehearsed, every smile choreographed. And the palace? They just smiled and waved, acting like nothing was wrong. Online, forums lit up like wildfire. Side-by-side comparisons, timestamp tracking, deep dives into photos. It turned into a digital investigation. And the more people looked, the stranger it all seemed. Then, out of nowhere, a woman named DL appeared. No last name, no face, just 2 letters and a voice that shattered the internet. She claimed she was the one who actually carried Meghan's children. DL described secret clinics hidden behind marble walls in Beverly Hills, guarded entrances, code names, and clients who signed everything under aliases. She said Meghan and Harry never even showed up together, always separate, always in disguise, always careful. Never together. Sunglasses, hats, fake names. It sounded like a spy movie. And after every procedure, DL said she was told to vanish, no photos, no contact, no trace. She became what she called the ghost mother. Money came through offshore accounts, her name erased from every file. When DL finally spoke, her voice trembled not from fear, but from years of being treated like she didn't exist. They used me, she said, like I was just a tool, not a person. It wasn't about fame or money. It was about reclaiming her reality. She wasn't begging anyone to believe her. She was daring them to prove her wrong. And she came with proof, real, tangible proof. Clinic forms stamped and dated 2018 and 2020, the exact years of Meghan's pregnancies. Ultrasound images labeled under fake names, but perfectly timed with Meghan's public schedule. Payment records showing money moving through shell companies, deposits right before pregnancy announcements, more payments before due dates, and it didn't stop there. Encrypted emails with initials MM and HW. NDAs so brutal they could financially destroy anyone who spoke. It was all too detailed to dismiss. Then DL dropped the nuclear line that blew the internet wide open. I'll take a DNA test on live TV. 16 words that ripped through every news outlet on Earth. Social media went insane. Hashtags exploded. Talk shows offered 6-figure deals just to get her on air. And through it all, Meghan and Harry said nothing. No denial, no clarification, no press statement, just silence. But sometimes silence is louder than words. Because if someone made an accusation that massive about your own children, wouldn't you respond? Defend them? Say something? But they didn't. And every quiet day made people more suspicious. Then Samantha made her move. She didn't gloat. She didn't say, "I told you so." She just posted one quote from their father, "What's real doesn't fear questions." That single sentence reignited everything. Suddenly, the internet was split in two, half calling DL a hero, half calling her a fraud. But everyone was watching. Behind palace walls, panic was brewing. Late-night meetings, PR and meltdown, crisis consultants whispering damage control strategies. They'd dealt with scandals before, but never like this. This wasn't about a photo or a tabloid rumor. This was about the core story of their family. How do you respond when the world starts questioning whether your pregnancies were real? If you ignore it, it looks like guilt. If you fight it, it looks defensive. Either way, you lose. So, the palace did what it always does, stayed silent. But that silence wasn't elegant anymore. It was suffocating. Meanwhile, Samantha was calm. Too calm. She began appearing on talk shows, never angry, never messy, just composed, deliberate, confident. She talked about family accountability, about truth mattering more than brand deals. You can't build a brand on compassion, she said, while ghosting the people who raised you. Each appearance was like another crack in Meghan's glass castle. The perfect Duchess image began to fracture. She dropped small, vague hints. There's more to this than people know. Or, time reveals everything. It drove everyone crazy. Soon, the media went feral, journalists chasing old hospital staff, fans analyzing pregnancy photos pixel by pixel, comparing angles, shadows, even folds in dresses. And through it all, Meghan and Harry stayed silent. Some said it was strength. Others said it was guilt. But nobody could ignore it. Then came Samantha's final interview, quiet, dimly lit, just her and one microphone. The host asked, "Do you regret all of this? The backlash, the names, the chaos?" She paused, looked straight ahead, and said 10 words that froze the room. Regret, only if what's real stops being real. Her voice didn't shake. It didn't need to. You could feel the years behind those words. The pain of watching her sister rewrite their story like it was just another Netflix script. She talked about dinners that never happened because Meghan stopped showing up, calls that went unanswered, a father erased from his daughter's life. She said, "I never wanted fame. I wanted honesty. I just wanted the lies to stop echoing louder than the truth." When asked why the palace hadn't responded, she smiled softly. "Silence from guilty people looks the same as silence from innocent people," she said. "The difference is what you find when you look closer." And then came the final line that would define everything she'd said since the beginning. History will remember who spoke up first. That clip went viral in hours. Supporters called her brave. Critics called her bitter. But everyone watched. Everyone. The Duchess fairy tale, the kind-hearted woman who married her prince, now had cracks too deep to hide. Because once you see them, you can't unsee them. Maybe Samantha's right. Maybe not. Maybe the truth lies somewhere tangled in between. But one thing's certain, she's changed the conversation forever. Because what's real doesn't need protection. It just needs people willing to look. So here we are, a family divided, a palace under fire, and a truth still waiting to be told. And Samantha's last words still hang in the air, haunting everyone who's tried to silence her. History will remember who spoke up first. And just when everyone thought the storm had passed, a quiet voice whispered from the shadows. It started long before the pregnancies. The tension, the distance, the silent walls built between sisters weren't born overnight. They were years in the making, layered with envy, misunderstanding, and choices that cut deeper than anyone realized. What Samantha exposed wasn't just a royal secret, it was the unraveling of a bond once unbreakable. And as the cameras flashed and the palace gates closed, one truth echoed through it all. Behind every crown, there's always someone left in the dark.